it's Coreyemmah here, and this week's topic is Book of Shadows or Grimoire. Wow, I'd say that this topic will be really one of my and yours favorite as well. Because I'd say that Book of Shadows is something which is really important for all of us, all of the witches, because it's something what is a compendium of our practice, what is some proof of us being practicing witches, I'd say. And I wasn't thinking yet why is Book of Shadows or Grimoire so popular among witches, but I'd say that it's connected also with that we are all really creative, and we all want to have some kind of documentation of our journey, and we all sometimes need to write down a spell to not to forget it. So let's go to my Book of Shadows. I actually have the whole series about my Book of Shadows on my blog in a Czech language. So this will be just like a quick overview, but all the process of evolving my Book of Shadows is in those videos in Czech. And my Book of Shadows is few years old. I'm not exactly sure. Oh yeah, I started writing it in the end of the year 2013. Before that, I used to have different books, and I just decided to write everything that I was collecting for years into one small book, which was, after a few years, too small, so I started with this one. I rewrote everything into this one, and so this one was completed basically based on the last of my books in the end of year 2013. It took me about a month and a half to rewrite all the stuff and all the energy from my previous books. Okay, my Book of Shadows is divided on sections, and I have them marked here with colors. And these sections are basics of witchcraft. Then I have here the biggest part about reading tarot and about divination. Another part is about correspondences. Another part is altogether all the stones and gemstones and crystals with flowers, herbs and trees. Another part is for creatures, animals and gods. Then I have a red part here, and this part is about basics of witchcraft, but in different way than my really beginning part. In the beginning I'm like more about theory, what is witchcraft, what are the rules, which kinds of witches are here around, what is magic, how does it work, magical pyramid, aura, chakras and so on. And in this part it's more practical. There are different types of how to protect yourself, work with candles, work with amulets and talismans, and this kind of things. Also working with magical dolls and with needles, which I use. I can show you here. And sands, salts and everything like this. In the yellow part I have everything about sabbats and about a ritual and a ritual structure. Then there's another part which is devoted to esbats, water magic and women mysteries. And the last part is big as well, and it's totally connected with German mythology and German kinds of magic, to runes and German gods, the things which are absolutely connected with my practice. Then I have here space in the end where I have all my personal notes and readings and everything, even though obviously all my personal things are going through the whole book. Okay, so this is kind of what is inside, and I bought this book, I ordered this kind of book. It's a handmade book with this kind of lovely paper. You can't see through this paper, which is great. And the cover is leather, and I made this picture for it. I decided to name it the Book of Shadows, even though it's really common name, and I made this picture which has really strong connection and correspondences with my practice, myself, my coven, and my point of view on different magical and mystical worlds and realms. I have several strings here, and on them I have different beads and different amulets, and they are changing, so I will not talk about them a lot, but for example this one, it's a wolf claw, wolf teeth, and it's from Mongolia, and I had this amulet on my neck, on the necklace, when I made my very first YouTube video, so it has really great connection with my video practice. Okay, so this is what is inside of my Book of Shadows. I love to draw pictures in it. For example, here is something for reading from tea leaves, or I will try to find some German gods. And I'd say that it's mainly all about our need to be creative, to have something sacred, and to have a place where we can share all our knowledge and experience, and that's why we are creating Books of Shadows. And I'd say that it's really powerful and great thing to have and to create, to do, to make. So that was my point of view for Book of Shadows. I would be able to talk about it for the whole year, but I'm trying to keep it just in line for my Czech series about the Book of Shadows. Okay, so that's it. I hope that you also have and love your own Book of Shadows or grimoire, and see you soon.